speak on situation that happened yesterday. I didn't have time to talk about it yesterday because I'm not going to hold y'all. I was dead tired, and somebody had to make sure I go to sleep. So I dropped my son off so we can talk about this. Right? Only because I didn't care to put this into the show if I do decide to do a show tonight. If something transpires, I'll talk about it. But I just wanted to talk about this Tory Lanez situation. And really want to talk about the comments that I've been seeing and I've been reading. So, of course, for those who don't know, Tory Lanez got stabbed 14 times. I didn't put, obviously, I had to put the word stabbed in the title for obvious reason. And, well, not make about the situation. Tory Lanez got stabbed 14 times. He's currently in a California jail, prison, whatever, serving because of a situation that took place about a year and a half ago now. Now, for those who don't know, here's some of the details. He was placed on a breathing apparatus because both his lungs collapsed. He got stabbed 2 times in the head, 7 in the back, which explains his lungs collapsing, 1 in the face, and 4 in the torso. So let me read from his Instagram. Tory was stabbed 14 times, obviously in the locations that I mentioned. Like I said, both lungs collapsed and was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is not breathing on his own, thank God. Despite being in pain, he is talking normally, i- in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. That's the Tory Lanez. So, and this happened in the prison yard. So I'm not going to go into prison politics. I'm not. That's not what this is about. And quite frankly, what goes on in that, the politics. Let me just say that again. The politics that goes on in that area is none of our business. So I'm not even touching. I want to talk about the comments I said here that I read. Do I got some right here? Um, okay, I can't do that. Too much going on driving. AJ and TJ, good morning to you both. Uh, Vermel, God bless you too. Good morning. Good morning. So let's talk about this. Comment say it should have been Megan. Hit the like button if you wish Megan got stabbed. Megan should be in jail. Megan lied on him. La 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 la. La. Let's talk about this because people people think Jay Villa, what's good, man? How you feeling? How you feeling? Uh, you just AJ TJ, I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Now, here's what's bothering me about this. Some people got to remember when Orleans went on trial, it wasn't a toilet Megan situation. That's not what this trial was. Not at all. He did not be found guilty for what he did to Megan per se, because this had nothing to do with Megan. Replace Megan with her best friend. That the outcome would have been the same. Replace Megan with the driver. The outcome would have been the same. Bodyguard. Outcome would have been the same. Or even Kylie Jenner. The outcome would have been much more severe, but relative and all, it was still be the same. Good morning, Sugar Bomb. How you feeling? And who else? I'm driving right now, so I can't see, but Sam, good morning, good morning, good morning. So, this had nothing to do with Megan. Matter of fact, had to go back because I covered this and I covered the apology that I think people owed Megan Thee Stallion. So let me see if I can pull this. Where's my photo? That's a screenshot. This. Okay. Let me remind people because I'm not saying anybody needs to be poked in literally or figuratively. If you get what I'm saying, I'm not saying that needs to happen to anybody. I hate that this happened to him. I really do. I want him to serve his time and be able to come home free, rehabilitated. That's what ultimately what I want for Tory Lanez. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, why is Tory Lanez in prison? First charge that he got found guilty of a loaded the vehicle. Facts. That is a fact. Like I said, take away Meg Thee Stallion, put anybody else in there, he's still getting hit with these charges regardless. So some people say that's not enough. Okay, I hear you. What was the next charge? Discharging a firearm with gross negligence. See, ladies and gentlemen, I know some people don't shoot guns, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't. If you haven't shot a gun, take no. There is no shame to this. But when you shoot, ladies and gentlemen, there's something called um, GPR, gunpowder residues. Meaning, once you discharge a weapon, all the residues from that gun is going to be all over your hands and and parts of your arm as well. When they did a GPR test, they found gunpowder residues all over Tory's hand, which is proof that you used the gun. You discharged that firearm. Take Meg out of there, put your mama in there. He's still getting found guilty. That's what we're saying. And the last charge, these are the three charges that really got him in jail right now. Assault with the semi-automatic firearm. Now, those two charges prove that the gun was in Tory's hand. This charge, keep in mind, Meg Thee Stallion has bullet fragments in her foot. Whether Tory's a bad shot or the bullet ricocheted off the ground and hit Meg in the foot. It's in the feet. We saw her aerial coverage, her walking back towards the police car, feet bleeding and all. Matter of fact, it's in the medical examiner report, meaning you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys know, you cannot bullshit no medical examiner's report. And there is no doctor that's going to compromise their career in 20, well, I'm gonna say modern days because this happened about a couple years ago. There's no medical doctor that's going to compromise their career to that level. For what? A Tory Lanez? A Tory Lanez. See, this is when people got really shut up and think. Why would you go through all of this for Tory Lanez? Yes, we saw what Tory Lanez did during the pandemic, and dare I say, Tory Lanez had a nice career outside of music at his hands. Had he just played the right position, that money was about to be flowing. They were about to throw money at Tory Lanez. However, that doesn't negate the fact that she was shot. The bullet fragment at that time was still in her foot. I don't know if it's still there now. And these are reports you cannot bullshit. People want to conveniently act like that never happened. Oh, no, it happened. It happened. You can't pretend that it didn't happen. So that right there is the only time you say you're going to introduce Meg into the situation. But however, take Meg out and put anybody there. Put your grandmama there. Put your daddy there. I know some of y'all won't put your daddy in there. I understand. I'm not faulting you if it's applicable. But Tory Lanez is in jail because Tory Lanez put himself in jail. Let me say this again so everybody can really understand what I just said. Tory Lanez is in jail because Tory Lanez put himself in jail. I did not say I want this brother to be poked 14 times. I don't wish that on anybody. All I'm saying is you guys want to point the finger at Meg. Take Meg out and put yourself in that situation. Do you want to point the fingers at yourself? Hmm? Because if I recall correctly, albeit I saw through this, when she said there was a threat made against my life, and I want to thank the people who was there to protect me and help me, yada yada yada. I knew once she said that, I was like, Tory did something. Tory has something to do with this. To her best ability, she tried to protect everybody involved. So you can't get around and put this on Kev, especially how Tory handled the situation. That if you ever want to know one of the worst ways to handle a situation like that, leading all the way up to your prison sentence day, go watch how Tory Lanez handled that situation. The way Tory Lanez moved, his movements was deplorable, ill-advised, illogical, and just flat out stupid. Let's say, and granted, I wouldn't be caught dead being accused of some of this shit because I'm not going to put myself in this position for the most part. If there's something being made out against me, especially something that egregious, shutting the fuck up will go a long way. And knowing when to talk versus to troll the situation. You trolled, man, from the time you shot her all the way to it's time to for sentencing. Again, Tory Lanez is in jail because Tory Lanez put himself in jail. Let me read the charges again, ladies and gentlemen. This is why Tory Lanez is in jail. Hold on, I'm sorry. Now that I'm at a red light. I'm sorry. Let me see. Sugar Rush said facts. What or not? Drill. Megan is innocent. Fellas can't have guns. Sugar Bun, here's the thing. Yes, I do believe Megan is innocent in all this. As far as the fellas can't have guns, won't contest to that. Maybe it's a Texas thing. You know, what, let me let you have that one because it might be different in different states or be around. Man, it's been released. He was set up. Come on, Slim. He ain't the shooter. You burned. Third view, you got the. That sounds dumb. So here's the thing: if carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in your vehicle, that's one. Now, is that you have to prove that he carried that loaded, unregistered firearm in the vehicle. We already got the vehicle. They already checked it's unregistered. And it was loaded. Now, can you prove that Tory Lanez had that gun in his possession? Yes, you can. You know how you can prove that? Because the second charge that they got him with was discharging a firearm with gross negligence. The gunpowder residue is already on his hand. When you shoot a anytime I would shoot my gun, gunpowder residue is going to be on my hand. Obviously, it's blind to the eye. You got to do the test to see if the residue is there. And that's why gross negligence. You got eyewitnesses and maybe a ring camera that show him shooting a gun in the air. You want to? Do you want to get easily hit with gross negligence? Go get your gun, shoot it in the air. Why is that gross negligence? Gravity. The bullet's coming right back down. Where does it land? Who knows? So that's that. And the third charge, assault with a semi-automatic firearm. Obviously, so we clear. It's clear that you excuse me. You carried that loaded firearm, unregistered loaded firearm in the vehicle. We proved the gross negligence and the discharging of it because of the gunpowder residues and where you was aiming that gun. And also the third one, assault with the semi-automatic. Thank well, there are some. I know there's some bullets that you shoot the bullet, if you shoot a gun, depending on what type of bullet you got. As soon as it goes inside your skin, the fragments can then later explode and go into different direction. I'm not gonna say that happened. I'm just gonna say Tory Lanez Tory Lanez shot the gun on the ground, and pieces of that fragment went inside Meg. I'll say that. Or if you don't, or you don't gotta take my word for it at all, ladies and gentlemen. You can go read the medical report, the examiner report. So all three of these It has not all three of these. It's a Tory Lanez thing, not a Meg. He was not on trial for what he did to Meg. He's on trial for being stupid. He had to pay the stupid tax. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, people pay stupid taxes. If you do stupid shit, you got to pay for it. That's all this was. This is all this was, ladies and gentlemen. Tory Lane being a full fledged Nimrod and putting himself in a situation that he has no business a business of being in. Now, let me touch on this Megan thing. Um, hold on, let me see what J Bill said. I remember Kelsey having the gun powder residue on her as well. I remember that to a degree. I will also say and this is why I say I don't like how Tory was moving this situation. And quite frankly, I have an issue with how Tory's lawyers allow her to move. Well, then again, you can't make Tory do anything because that's just a client at the end of the day. Um, hold on, let me park real quick, then I can respond to that. Cause I was thinking about her name. I was like, what is her friend's name? Kelsey. Hold on, just all right. All right, now I'm on the spot. It shouldn't have. She shouldn't have got immunity. Well, here's the thing. Okay, that's what I was going next. Thanks for bringing that up. She shouldn't have gotten immunity. Uh, in California, I say she had every right to get immunity because she took advantage of the situation. Now, do I believe Kelsey has some play in this as well? Sure, I do. I believe that. I think any South thinking man would say the same thing. But look how Corey moved through this whole trial, and look how Kelsey moved. Kelsey was the strategic one the whole time. I believe her hands is not entirely clean of all of this, but I do believe that with some legal counsel, she made the right decision to protect herself. Can somebody explain to me why Tory Lanez didn't do the same thing? And we could clearly say he has more resources than Kelsey. So as much as I believe she does play a part, I have to say, yeah, I'm gonna have to say that hey, she did what she was supposed to do. Is Kelsey from Houston? Can somebody check to see if Kelsey from Houston? I don't know where she's from because that was very the way Kelsey was moving is indicative of a Houstonian. I'm not saying she's from Houston, but if she is, that wouldn't surprise me. But what was about what was I about to say to turn that off in the background? Going back to the oh yeah, I was gonna touch on Meg. Now, did Meg the Stallion do anything illegal? Avery, hey, how you doing? She is from Houston. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah, I can see it. Do your shit. Um, don't snitch, rat on yourself or whatever, and you protect it. Shout out to Kelsey. So, getting to Meg. Meg did nothing illegal in this. Meg did not have a gun. Meg did not shoot herself. Um, now you want to say based off of morals, characters, how she was moving was questionable. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that as well. Did that warrant this? So obviously the answer is no on the legal tip. But you want to go on morals, the what you do, you can't determine the outcome of that, which I also understand because how she moved led to fragments being in her foot. However, with that being stated, this doesn't, on the legal side of the matter, which is ultimately what people are saying, she does not deserve to be in jail. She does not deserve to be in this position. I don't know why Tory got stabbed 14 times. I'm not gonna hold you. I do not know. And quite frankly, unless the media comes out with it, I'm not going to further investigate why he got stabbed 14 times because there's certain things that is none of my business. A and B, when certain information falls in my lap, I'm well aware. I have enough wherewithal to say maybe speaking on this publicly is a compromise to one's ability to live. So I like I said, I don't know why he got stabbed unless it comes out publicly. I won't go researching, and I'm just gonna let whoever want to take that chance go right ahead. But like I said, unfortunately, like I said, I don't wish that on anybody. I wish he did not this didn't happen to him. You ladies and gentlemen, let this be a lesson to everybody. Please be careful how you move out there. Because I'll say it again. You carried a loaded, unregistered firearm in the vehicle. Bad idea. Discharging said firearm with gross negligence. A worse idea. And worse than that is assaulting somebody with that semi-fire automatic. And keep in mind, Sugar Bond said it earlier, he's the felon. So this is bad. We're gonna wish Tory Lanez a speedy recovery. I need people to stop saying that it should have been Megan. That's wild and insensitive, dumb as fuck. And I'm saying this now because if a particular space on YouTube jumps at this, which I'm pretty sure they will, it's going to the message is going to get lost. And oh yeah, that's another thing. Watch how people articulate themselves when it comes to this situation. Just watch it. Make a decision based on how people choose to articulate their stance on this. Now, you're more than welcome to choose whatever side you want to stand on, but listen how people articulate themselves. That's going to say a lot about who they are as a person. Well, never mind this. We on YouTube. We could be anything we want to be, and that type of stupid shit. Look, we're gonna put that to the side. Would you rather have someone? Okay, we're gonna put all that shit to the side. Listen to how people articulate themselves. You're gonna find the real them, and when it comes to this Tory Lanez and Meg situation, be ready to believe them. That's all I'm gonna say. Just be ready to believe them. But right now, it's about to be 6:30. I gotta be at work in 90 minutes. So actually, I think I might have time to go to the run to the store real quick to get a couple things and come right back. I think that's what I'm actually about to do. But thank you guys for tuning in. BTS Show, Christopher J. Talk to you guys later. Peace out.